We've got an interesting pattern here forming on Aussie New Zealand. Possible reversal, just as we expect at this area, and maybe a continuation. That is the high probability setup that we've planned and that is playing out right now. Before we go into that, welcome to the midweek analysis, and as ever, let's follow along with what we've got this week based on the start of the week where we analyzed the pairs on our shortlist. We've got our shortlist here on the right. Welcome to today's video. Let's get to it. Our biases here are established, and let's have a look where we're at. First of all, of course, let's begin with the news for the week. Let's look at the calendar. So welcome to the update. And it is the beginning of January, typically a slower week. What do we have regardless? Today, Wednesday, we've got GBP news, and then tomorrow will be the big day CPI on the dollar. So we'll watch out for the dollar to make its move, or dollar related pairs. And then on Friday, we'll have pound news and dollar news again. As ever, let's begin with the dollar index. And what we looked at the start of the week is a possible reversal to continue to downside. And then we've got our invalidation here above at this swing high. We are on the weekly chart. We analyze at the beginning of the week on the weekly chart. It makes things much easier, much smoother, and we see the overall bigger picture. We've got that possibility here as a possible swing. And so far, what do we have? Looking on the daily, we see that we have not had much movement at all, have we? We're just stuck in this range. We've tapped into the 61.8 mark. We've got our invalidation here above. If we reach above, we are looking for buys. And at the moment, we are still on the sell bias, on the sell program. So we'll continue with that program and look for that. At the moment, nothing has appeared here. Nothing has happened, and we're really just ranging as expected. This is a slow month, beginning of the year. Very, very slow. Don't expect any miracles. The news is, of course, the one to wait for, but that will come tomorrow. So with that, let's look at the dollar-based pairs. We've got euro dollar, and what did we expect on euro dollar? Well, a similar thing. We wanted to see a breakout, some kind of movement, something happening to indicate that we have a direction split. At the moment, as with the dollar index, so with the euro dollar. Dollar index is made up mostly of euros, so it makes sense that this correlated. And again, this ranging behavior, you could call it a kind of a triangle, whatever word you want to use, doesn't really matter. The point is we have no direction. Got these two high and low reference points. So above is buy, below here is a definite sell, but we are far away from that. And we were looking at possibly this happening, a possible higher price and to go lower, or the other possibility is the opposite side, a lower price and to go higher. But of course, this whole price action is a bit messy, and if you want to draw a level, then another level be down here. That'll be the other possibility. So are we going to measure this? Okay, this will be the Fibonacci and this will be the retracement, or are we measuring this low to this high? And then this will be the retracement. At the moment, it's not clear yet, and we don't want to do anything until we have some clarity. So after the news, of course, will be a little bit more interesting. We'll check on that on Friday. Let's move on in the meantime to the next one. And the next one on the list was CAD Yen, and there was a bearish bias looking at these lows. So far, we have had the market being a bit indecisive. We had moved lower and are now moving higher. And the question is, are we actually going to set a direction? What does that direction look like? Well, we've got our parameters. We've got first level here, a break of this level. That was the preferred scenario. Break lower and continue lower. That did not happen. We've got the high here, break to the high and continue higher. That did not happen either. Again, choppiness. It looks like we're making higher highs here, right? And higher lows. However, always want to consider the higher time frame. I was looking at this major move broken and continuation lower. So far, don't have a real easy, clear read of this market. We'll see if the CPI numbers on the dollar will affect the yen. And what do we have here? We do have some CAD news as well, balance of trade. That's already happened. Okay, so yeah, it's a patience game. Let's see where we go. Not quite clear just yet. So higher time frame looking bearish, but lower time frame looking bullish. And because of that, we're going to let that be. Let CAD yen unfold a little bit more before making a decision. And as you may know, if you've been with me, the daily time frame is really the preferred clarity, the preferred one that gives us the hint for the lower time frames. That's the CAD yen. Let's move on now to, we've got Euro yen. Euro yen was a similar picture. So we had a similar idea. The higher price here to head lower and break lower. We've had movement higher, did not break lower. Still on the lower time frame, there was this level that I looked at a possible reversal from, which is what we are having, and this move higher is what we expect. So this is not really the trade idea. However, there was an expectation that it will bounce from here, and now it is going higher. Let's wait for that reversal. So far, again, it just hasn't yet come into our parameters, and therefore we got to be patient, wait, sit still, and let it unfold. If you like this video, guys, please make sure to like, leave a comment below, and feel free to share what your opinion or outlook on your own charts is. We're happy to interact. For now, let's move on. We've got Euro Yen waiting for us, or we are waiting for Euro Yen, I should say, and let's wait for that turnaround if it comes. If we get a higher high form above this high, then the break of the next structural low will be the last obvious low, which will be down here. And then we want to see the break, pulling back and continuing. At the moment, we are needing to wait. We've got a fib here, so we've got a level here, we've got our area here marked, and then we'll just wait for the turnaround, if the turnaround comes. Of course, if it breaches, we invalidate, and yeah, we're no longer going to look for a sell. Next one, we have EuroCAD. Now, EuroCAD has been very tricky, really ranging for a very long time. We have this big fat range that is just hanging around here. And what do we want? Well, what we want is to get some kind of clarity on price action. What clarity is that? Well, we have a break we looked at. We have possible move lower, so the break higher would indicate higher prices, like so, pulling back and then continue higher. We do not have that. We've got continuation in this range. What do we prefer? Well, we prefer a continuation of this channel, a sharp move down into the zone, into this zone. If you look left, a move higher, retracement, and then we are going to be interested. For now, again, a slow market, slow month. It's just what it is, but still going to keep track. We're just keeping track here for the week and seeing what's unfolding. And this is what's unfolding. Continued ranging movement. Not interested at all in this ranging choppy environment whatsoever until we have clear clarity either side. Yeah. Pretty simple, really. It's just a case of, can you wait? Let's go into the next one. The next one, this is an interesting one, Aussie, New Zealand. Why is this interesting? Well, as just mentioned at the start of this video, because we have our parameters set and the market is coming into where we expect it to and developing unfolding, showing price action as expected, and therefore it is within our environment. What do we see? Well, what we see is this low that was formed. We see the move higher, the break higher, the retracement into our better price. This was a zone marked out that we want to be interested in, and it has pushed into this zone and now possibly a reversal. What does this reversal indicate? Well, it indicates that a low has now possibly formed, but we want to see that confirmation of this reversal, that this is holding. Remember, this is the daily chart, and therefore this is still the daily candle. Time of recording this is still Wednesday. Wednesday has not closed yet, is not done yet. Therefore, we want to see that confirmation. What confirmation, you might be asking, are we looking for? If you look on the 4-hour, what we can see is bullish candle here that developed, engulfed 1, 2, 3 previous candles. That's a good sign, just on the area that we were looking for. And now we want to see that reversal. What is the reversal? Well, the reversal will be the break of previous high. So there's that swing high, a break, pulling back and continuing higher. We also have our invalidation point. So for now, we don't want to see the market move lower, whether it becomes choppy here, possibly, I don't know. But the bottom line is we don't want to see it move below here and invalidate the whole scenario. Let's just go quickly back into the daily. As I was saying, daily is a very, very good time frame to get your outlook on. And what do we see on the daily? Well, this is possibly only, we all know until tomorrow or the end of the day, possibly a reversal pattern. What pattern is this? If you do not know it already, it looks like a piercing line bullish. If you're not familiar with what a piercing line bullish is, let me show you. Here is what a piercing line bullish looks like. This is a reversal pattern. And if we have a downtrend, first of all, so firstly, you want to see a downtrend. You want to see the previous candle bearish, as we have here. So we have a downtrend, previous candle bearish, and the next candle needs to open gap below the close of the previous bearish candle, which it did here. So here's that close, gap below, opened lower. So the candle needs to open lower, current candle, and then it needs to reverse and close above the halfway point of the previous bearish candle body. So if we look here, the halfway point, if I draw a fib from here, the halfway point will be right here. So here's the halfway point, and then I will remove the fib. So if we close the day above the halfway point of the body as it is right now, that will be a confirmation of a reversal pattern, piercing line bullish. Now, of course, you can reverse it, and that'll be a piercing line bearish. And here we have that bullish pattern. Therefore, that will add the confirmation, and the daily chart will be a great marker for that. And then we will look for possible entry, maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I don't know. This could be a hold of the weekend as well, and we have our target points there. Got the highs. The next obvious high would be, of course, this high, and then 2 and 3 up here, and then even 4 and 5 further on. But we'll see if we get there when we get there. For now, there's that pattern. There's that break we want to see, and once we break, we will break with a confirmation, come down, and then move higher. So I think that's clear. This looks like it's the only one that is of interest so far with the bullish bias on Aussie New Zealand. The rest are pretty slow, as you would expect. Okay, and now let's look at gold. We've got gold, similar picture to the other dollar pair, like euro and dollar index. We wanted these two reference points, this range in the market, to be broken and for this level to break through. That did not happen. We have had brief price action to the downside, which is a good thing because it's hinting at more weakness, and it was just chopping around, and now we want to see more downside. So we'll see what happens with the CPI news tomorrow. That may affect gold and of course euro dollar, then these pairs being based on the dollar, and looking for those lower prices. If the opposite happens and we break through here and close through here, of course we have the second possibility, second scenario. The backup is this bullishness, but of course we will have to break through all of these highs, these swing highs, before we actually reach there. So that will be very, very significant if we get there. That is a long way away, really. Yeah, long way away. 4,000 picks. Okay, we've got our set parameters. Regardless, just have to wait. Again, patience, waiting game. Maybe no trades this week at all. Don't be surprised about that, but we're still here for you analyzing the charts. We'll wait for CPI to do its thing, and next week maybe likely more clearer. Okay, finally, oil. What is happening on oil as we looked at oil? Here's the weekly chart. We were looking at these lows to be broken to head lower. So this was the scenario. Despite the previous week being bullish, the much larger time frame on the monthly is still bearish. So we have our invalidation point here at this high. If we break through, this will be bullish. We had a break of significant structure, which signifies a likely move to the downside. Let's look on the daily picture. What do we see? Well, we see a bit of choppiness, and again, we may have to wait for CPI. We had a break of this low. That was the first hint we wanted to see, and then we wanted to see a break of this low. So if we do have that break, then it's that downside, and if we have break of this high, it will be the upside. But that is also, that high is a very long way away. Not going to get there anytime soon. Very unlikely we'll get there this week. So let's wait. It is very choppy at the moment, very unclear, and there is the bias to the downside. But yeah, once again, the caveat is better wait, because we're not really clear yet. We want to be well clear of these levels. We want to see real price action, real momentum. So far as choppiness, we want to see big candles like these and this one before we take any action. So that's that on oil. Then we're now back to dollar index. Again, the choppy market, as you can see, not very keen, not very excited about the markets this week, apart from the Aussie New Zealand, which is the interesting one. It's a real choppiness. This is really a scalper's environment, and you really want to know what you're doing if you are scalping and you're making use of the opportunities there. But this is not the scope of this video. For now, we've got a bigger outlook, a bigger picture, and that's it for this week, and for today, I should say. Friday, let's catch up and see whether we've got something a little bit more interesting and whether we've learned anything as well. Okay, that's today's video. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye for now.